We just finished our Exodus series, and it didn't end well for the people of Israel. After seeing God work 10 plagues and part the Red Sea to bring them to the cusp of the promised land, never mind that he provided water and food in the desert on their way there, they didn't believe he could defeat the inhabitants of the land. They didn't listen to their leadership, Moses, Aaron, Joshua, and Caleb. As a result, a generation, 40 years, were spent in the wilderness. And everybody over 20 never saw the promised land. Boy, that's a lesson for us. And it's a lesson Jesus tried to impart to his disciples. He fed 5,000 people with 5 loaves of bread. And then he fed 4,000 people with 7 loaves of bread. And right after that feeding of the 4,000, they were out in a boat, and Jesus began to teach about sin. He said, beware of the leaven of the Pharisees and the leaven of Herod, and he was going to use that as a metaphor, and the disciples thought, leaven? Man, we only have 1 loaf of bread. Jesus picked up on that, and he said, why are you talking about the fact that you don't have any bread? Do you not perceive and do you not understand? Then he asked this question, see if we heard this. Is your heart hardened? Did we hear that in our study of Exodus? He says, do your eyes not see? Do your ears not hear? I had 5 loaves and fed 5,000 people. How many baskets were left over? 12. I had 7 loaves and fed 4,000 people. How many baskets were left over? 7. And he said, do you not yet understand? Understand what? That I'm faithful. Look, whether it's the people in the Exodus or the disciples of Jesus or you and me, God's expectation is that we are internalizing his faithfulness, that we are growing in our capacity to trust him. Well, that's why we're encouraging you to be in the Word. That's why we're encouraging you to do these growth studies. It's a chance to get in the Word with other people who would encourage you. Here's my prayer. After we've studied Exodus, after we've looked at Jesus, that as a body, corporately and individually, we are growing in our capacity to trust God in our circumstances.